I have come up with an idea for a comedy. I'm just a little bit nervous because I don't know how Americans would respond to it. Um, I would probably recruit British writers to help me with this one because um, I want it to be in the style of the Vicar of Dibley comedy, One Foot in the Grave. Um, Absolutely fabulous kind of comedy writing style, but about a retirement. Like how everyone in America when they retire they go to Florida. It's basically a show about a retirement village. Because I'm really hoping that I can have like little retirement flats, like a little retirement block for all my retirees who would be coming out of retirement to come and be mentors and stuff, and replicating that inside the TV studio with actors. And it's basically just telling the story of people from all different walks of life, immigrants retiring and living together in this apartment in the retirement building, every nook and cranny, meaning from everywhere, from every place, every part, everywhere. That's what every nook and cranny means. So they're basically retirees from all different cultures. There was a show when I was growing up. I think it was called Speak My Language, and it was so funny. It would kind of be like that, but instead of them learning how to speak English, they're learning how to live together in the same retirement complex. And some of them will be widows, some of them will be bachelorette, some of them will be married couples, and if I can put links if you're not British, if you don't have these shows in your country or don't know what I'm talking about, I'll put links in the description box so you can get an idea of the comedy writing style. You're going to have your curmudgeonly, kind of grumpy old people and, you know, um, think Cocoon, but British, but not involving aliens. Just basically, like we will have maybe like the racist who is anti-immigrant, and and then here he, because that's what I was thinking. Was it Archie Bunker's place? He was racist, right? I mean, it's not necessarily about a man who moves into a retirement home and he's surrounded by immigrants and he's racist, but it would kind of have that subtlety, and basically how has to integrate with all these different cultures, and everyone else kind of treating him like not the joke, but like they make fun of him, they tease him because it's funny, because it's like um, they give him a run for his money, but in a comedy nice way. Love Thy Neighbour as well was another one. Um, with those neighbours, they were, gosh, where were they from? Were they Jamaican? The neighbours. Um, they were part of that movement in Great Britain in the 50s and 60s when they opened the doors to um, the like Caribbean immigrants in there, and they came over to work the jobs and work the factories and all that sort of thing. I think Love Thy Neighbour. I think they were Jamaican. I apologise if I'm wrong. It's just um, these were shows that haven't been on since like the 70s, most of them. other than like Vicar of Dibley and Abfab and all that, but um, like the Good Life. I'll put links in so that you can see the kind of comedy style I'm looking at. But it's basically going to be about this man. I don't know what career I'm going to make him. Um, Maybe like a cop or something like that. And he moves into this neighborhood. You know, he goes to the retirement village, and it's all full of immigrants, retiree immigrants. And as the show goes on, he realizes he's got a lot in common with these people, and they give him shit, but they're tolerant because they know he's just a grumpy old man, and you know what I mean. So we'll have like a Caribbean family, we'll have a Caribbean couple, we'll have like an Asian couple, and a Latino and all of that sort of thing. We'll have a white people and all of that, African American, Jewish, all of that sort of thing, and they all have to get along with him. So I'm thinking I'd like to recruit some British comedy writers to help me with that one in particular. And I want to call it Every Nook and Cranny. And then what I do is set up, if I'm able to, put in like a retirement villa for my retirees who are coming out of retirement, you know, so that they've got their own little private space, and then replicate it in the movie studio, or if not, just replicate a retirement village in the movie studio. You know, because you're basically just going to be filming outside and in their apartments and stuff. So yeah, every nook and cranny. So I'll put links in the description box below. And it's basically a show about how these immigrants are teaching the white dude to settle down, calm down. It's not that deep. It's not that serious. You know, we've earned our retirement just like you. We came here and worked to help make America what it is, and we're retired too. We're just like you, sort of thing. So I'll put links in the description box below. It just makes me nervous because I know that Americans do appreciate British comedy. Nobody does comedy like the British. Nobody does comedy like the British. The next from the British would be the Canadians and like Australians. British first, Canadian second, Australians third. So if I can get any of these writers on board, get them to do some research, although the British won't have to, and then they can sit down with me and come up with story episodes. The first one being, you know, the day he moves in and has the shock and horror of realizing that all his neighbours are immigrants. They're from every nook and cranny. And I can even hear the theme tune, Last of the Summer Wine style, which was actually just filmed up the road from me. I'm taking my sister on a Last of the Summer Wine tour of Holmfirth. So anyway, so I'm just putting that out there. Um, I'll put links in the description box below of all the comedies I'm talking about. Have I got the names right? Speak my language. Um, are you being served as well? If you're British or Commonwealth over a certain age, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. So I'll speak to you later. Ka kite.